91.5 WBIM presents the Saturday Night Soundtrack. Whoever you're with, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, don't stop. Just turn us up. Coming to you live from the campus of Bridgewater State University. We are your destination for commercial-free classic rock to power your nights. Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, Van Halen, Aerosmith, Beatles, Eric Clapton, Pink Floyd, The Who, U2, AC/DC, Tom Petty, Allman Brothers, Ozzy, Neil Young, and hundreds more. Take us along wherever you go with the Livestream.com app in the iTunes and Google Play stores. So go get some food in the belly and gas in the tank as BSU's Alumni Saturday rocks on. The Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, and Steve Rimmer begins now on Bridgewater's own 91.5 WBIM.
It's 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack is underway. Welcome to it, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. Real radio. Hello. Strap yourselves in for the best 4 hours of radio you're going to hear here at WBIM and give us a call. 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. It's Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack if you want. But I'm starting to get to the point where, and I mentioned this last week, Steve, and I'm getting to this point even more, where I'm realizing that Twitter is just absolute garbage.
Oh, it's gone.
I'm getting to the point where basically I feel like I feel about Twitter the way Jared feels about Facebook, where it's just ridiculous. I'll give you a little bit of a hint that, we always have interactions on Facebook where people like things and comment on things. Granted, it's usually either my friend or your wife.
Yes.
But at the same time, that's still an interaction. The only interaction we ever get on Twitter is just sort of like a false lead. Like, I'll see that we get a follower, and then we lose the follower after 24 or 48 hours. The other thing that always tends to come up is that somebody will end up liking our tweet. And I look at it, I'm like, oh, somebody likes our tweet. And then I see that it's somebody like this, who's just spamming the whole deal. And it just says something like, hey, want to rest? Waiting for you, I'm in the shower. Okay, well, that's probably not a legitimate like.
You shouldn't be Twittering while you're in the shower.
No, you shouldn't. You could electrocute yourself. Please relax.
Here's
but
the phone. You don't have to worry about Twitter anymore because they're being bought out by Disney.
Oh, good.
And because they can't figure out how to grow their business.
Well, maybe they'll end up making. Maybe they'll end up making up, something better out of it, like the Star Wars movies or something like that. So that'll be good. Yeah. Then we get another Twitter like, and then I think, oh, well, this one would be good. Hey, who want to meet with me? I need a nice boyfriend. Find me now. How do these people even know to like our tweets? You know what I'm saying? They're not following us because I've checked this out.
They're like the Instagrams.
It's just not. Oh my God! Mm-hmm. It's just so. I mean, again. We're on Twitter at SN Soundtrack, but it's garbage.
And Livestream is working today.
Yes, Livestream's working great. Livestream.com. It's a free app in the iTunes and Google Play stores. We're up there, and we're streaming live. You can listen to us from anywhere if the 180-watt range isn't doing it for you. So you can check us out there.
WBIM.
That's all you have to do. Or if you like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, we always post the direct link to WBIM there as well. So you can check it out there, too. And all you got to do is click on it, and you got us.
Yes.
So it's just whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
We got a lot for you tonight, so we should get into it. Again, 508-531-1303. Coming up in about an hour, Jared and I have a very amusing story to tell you about our trip home.
I can't wait to hear this.
About our trip home from the station last week. I feel like this is entertaining enough for us to tout it coming up in a full hour from now. So you can stay tuned for that, and we'll just listen to some great classic rock in the meantime.
Did you have a rant for now, or am I misinterpreting that too? I thought you mentioned something that you have a rant to go on about when you first come in.
I had some snarky comments to make, and I made one. I made one
it was
earlier.
Off the,
I'll make one again, but I'm very subtle about it. It's not just it's not such an all-out rant. I'm just very subtle about my my rantings.
Subtle.
Yeah, off the air.
Except when it comes to 9 and 10 o'clock, and I'm like, F it, I don't care. It's just going to be offensive. Nobody cares.
You know,
it doesn't matter to anyone.
I haven't been offensive this year yet.
You did once.
Don't jinx
it.
Yeah, you did. You didn't even realize it, which was it's the great part about it is that you say it and you don't even realize, probably because in Britain it's not a big thing.
Yeah.
But then you say things sometimes and I'm like, does he realize that he just okay, whatever. He just blew right past it like he doesn't care, so I'm just going to pretend like it never happened. No one's listening to us anyway, so chances are it does not matter.
No, we need requests.
Yeah,
tonight.
please give us
really
give us a call. Again, 508-531-1303. Gets lonely up here for 4 hours, and we need your input. If Lisa and Tom are listening, I mean, we helped you guys potentially close a deal 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
We never heard any damn feedback from that, so maybe if you could call us up and tell us how that went. Not in detail.
We need your input while you're inputting.
And that's how tonight will go.
Exactly.
That's sort of what I was talking about, Steve.
Yes.
I haven't been offensive. I haven't been offensive this year at all. Oh, here's a whole bunch of double entendres and innuendo.
Oh, yes.
508-531-1303. Give us a call. Let us know what you want to hear. Bob Seger, Metallica, and The Who all coming up in the next block. You got SNS on BIM.
Saturday nights and classic rock. They just go together like bacon and hot fudge sundaes.
Whatever.
Just trust us on this, okay? Bacon and hot fudge sundaes. Yum. The Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
It's a double shot of Van Halen, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetas, Steve Rimmer. Did you guys hear about David Lee Roth complaining that he's got a stalker out there?
I hope he's got several.
Boo-hoo.
Well, apparently it's a dude, or at least he's making it sound like a dude. So I guess David Lee Roth says a stalker, quote, a very real one, has called his phone number 75 times in the past 4 months. Well, telemarketers call my phone 75 times in the last 4 months. I just ignore the thing.
Exactly.
He said somebody out there, he says that they're keeping the number off of his phone log and his phone bills. He says somebody out there knows their tech. None of the phone numbers show up on my phone bill. Whoever is doing this knows that it's a felony, and he's hiding. He hasn't revealed what has been said during the phone calls, but he said that... he said, as it was explained to me by the professionals, because he's had stalkers before, as you mentioned, these calls are designed to make you terrified, nervous, afraid, upset, and ruin your day. He said it's pretty rare that just one person does this much. This almost sounds like a Donald Trump sentence. It's pretty rare that just one person does this much obsessive conduct, because that's grammatically correct, and nobody else knows about it. He says whoever is doing this is working somewhere, they eat lunch somewhere, they sleep somewhere, and probably with someone. You better be careful. I'm a stranger, and look what they did to me. Your family, you're familiar. He'll turn on you with the exact same teeth and the exact same rationalizations that they may have used to come after me. Psychopath.
So he's still on drugs.
He's gone off the rails. That guy.
Did he faceplant recently?
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, it was about a year and a half ago or so. It was at the very beginning of that tour that they just did that everyone said sucked.
Yeah, concussion.
And,
I think is playing a part in that.
Yeah, based on the recordings that I've heard from the live record that they put out when they played the Tokyo Dome, I would tend to agree.
Yes.
He sort of lost it in the vocal range. Mm-hmm. He needs to just realize that has happened.
Yeah, he's lost it in the head range too.
Well, maybe. Just because I mentioned it last week and because I'm wearing the T-shirt this week, I have to go back onto something else that is bothering me as far as remakes and things that are unnecessary.
Oh, yes.
So apparently, I had no idea that this was going on until this past week. I didn't know. I didn't hear anything about this.
This has been in the news for about a month now.
I wasn't paying any attention, and then I saw a commercial for the Rocky Horror Picture Show remake, which is going to be on, is it on Fox or FX?
Fox, I believe.
I don't care. It's just something that sucks. And
it's one of those castings that cannot happen. It's just
it's garbage.
It transcends the whole point of the transsexual.
Right, and the whole thing that bothers the thing that bothers me the most about it is the fact that Tim Curry's involved in it.
I know.
And
he has health issues though, so I don't think he's thinking straight.
I understand. Is he in the David Lee Roth camp at this point?
He's getting there. Yeah.
It bugs me that he's a part of it. I wish he had no part of it, and I wish if they're going to do something like this, I wish they would just go out and do it on their own with no endorsement from anybody from the original and just fall flat on their faces. I don't know how either of you feel about the original movie.
Incredible.
I wasn't
okay,
a fan.
thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you weren't. It doesn't seem like it's your type of movie.
It's not.
My wife and I have been to several of the. One of my friends are actually Chris Lawrence, who's a fellow alum here from Bridgewater. He's part of a group, the Archeo Army, in fact, that does a lot of the shadow casting shows along. They do the shows in the Bridgewater Theater and all that. My wife and I have actually been to a few of them because his crew was doing it, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's great. I mean, that was back, probably about 8-10 years ago now, when we were young enough to be able to stay up past 10 o'clock, because they're always at midnight. But I mean, it's great, and it's one of those things where I think you appreciate the movie a lot more if you participate in one of those deals, or if you're there for it and you see it, and you're just part of the audience. And but then, aside from that, just sitting watching the movie by itself at home is just great, and I have a feeling that this thing is just going to be friggin' stupid.
Why would they try this?
I don't know. And I don't know anybody who's in it. I was looking at it on IMDb earlier today, with the exception of Tim Curry, obviously. I have absolutely no idea who's in it. I don't know who's involved in it, and I don't understand who is green-lighting all of this remake crap. Just stop it. Clearly, you have no idea what's original, and you have no concept on how to just make television interesting again.
We need to remake The Sound of Music. I think that's what we need right now. It needs to be a black male actor.
Yeah, played
Julie Andrews' role.
Here's how ignorant I am. At first, I was like, they're going to blackmail an actor to be in The Sound of Music, and then I was like, ew! I understand what he just said.
Yes.
And, well, maybe they could do that next. I don't know. But,
now, here's the thing, Here's the thing about remakes and changes. How do you feel about I can't say African American because he wouldn't be. He would be a black English male playing James Bond.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with it.
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. And
Bond has always been a white guy.
Not to be racist.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the issue: is that the character has fundamental characteristics.
Exactly.
Now, I'm a bit hypocritical because I liked Daniel Craig's James Bond, and he was blonde hair and blue eyed, which James Bond never was.
No.
But at the same time, I mean, you could also say that James Bond was never a Scotsman either. He was originally supposed to be British, and Sean Connery is one of the greatest James Bonds, obviously, all time.
So hold it. The Scottish people are British. I hate to say this.
No, I understand that, but I mean, I'm saying he was
English.
not. Yes, he was not English. Yes, but that's the whole point. Is that they've always kind of taken a little bit of liberty, but I just think it's. I don't know.
I say make it a black female then.
No, I'm fine with it because in the books it doesn't explicitly say he's a white Anglo.
Ian Fleming is the character that James Bond is based on because he's the author. And he's a white guy.
He's gone out and said that in a couple of interviews and all, but I mean, this is also a fictional character.
This is something
they're supposed to be malleable.
It started off in the 50s. There weren't that many black people in England in the 50s.
Oh, we're a bunch of closed-minded old gits on this program.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
I'm saying I'm fine with
it.
And you're in the minority now. How did this show ever flip around, by the way?
I don't know.
Jared's the sensitive, politically correct voice of reason, and we're just like, well, that's a stupid idea. Nobody should do it. Yeah. Not that we're racist, but don't have a black guy play the part. No, that's pretty much what we just said.
Yes.
But that's not what we mean. We just mean for that particular part, it just doesn't go.
No, it doesn't.
I'm fine with it. If they do it, I'm fine with it. Because you know what the thing
is? It's going to happen.
Cleopatra was a redhead. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, she also had violet eyes.
Yes.
But then also you look at it too. Like historically, you have scores of people being cast as white.
Yeah, but the point is that a black actor playing James Bond couldn't have entrance to certain things that a white James Bond could.
That is racist.
I'm sorry, but I'm going off what the facts were in that point in time.
I actually didn't know what he was just saying there for a second.
Yeah, but also they've hinted, in the film universe at least, they've hinted that perhaps 007, and even the name James Bond, might not even relate to a specific person. Like in the films, they've hinted that perhaps
bullshit.
They've done that with they haven't explicitly said.
Is Peter still in there?
I don't know.
Chief Engineer Peter Q. George is here, and I think he's still hanging around. I don't probably he's not listening to the program. Oh, good for us. Oh, I could have jumped over the turntables here and cut in this thing here. Oh, but it's too damn late.
It's not even 8 o'clock.
Here's a good time to get into some music.
Absolutely, turn it on.
Steve, not that I want to invite you to speak anymore, but why don't you tell us about the record we got coming up? Carefully, please.
You right, Heap?
Yep, there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, tell us about Uriah Heep, because this was, again, I was talking earlier about this, that it's actually Uriah Heep is a band that I know, at least there was one or two songs that I know that they used to play on ZLX years ago before they started shifting over into the whole BCN realm.
No, the only thing I know about it is Trevor Boulder was in the Spiders from Mars, and after he was done with that, or after Bowie was done with that, he joined Uriah Heep with several other members of certain other bands from British heavy metal, and it's a good album. It's called Firefly.
There you go. It's right here, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Give us your calls for requests, 508-531-1303. We're doing classic rock until 11 o'clock. We got anything on you want for you. Don't forget, check us out. Like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter, @SN Soundtrack, and check out our YouTube channel, Saturday Night Soundtrack. It's Tom Petty, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS Radio Show, wrapping up a block of classic rock. AC/DC before that, Foghat. Kicked it off with Uriah Heep, which was a vinyl deep cut that we always do here on SNS. It was courtesy of Steve Rimmer, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, and Steve Rimmer. And just after 8 o'clock here.
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
I'll behave myself.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. Again, it's Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Facebook. You can like us there, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter as well, @SN Soundtrack. And don't forget, we got a YouTube channel out there. All you got to do is search for Saturday Night Soundtrack. You filter for channels. We're the first thing that's going to come up, and all sorts of stuff is up there, and hours and hours and hours of old programs.
I have to commend you on how the speed of which you put things on there now.
Oh, thank you, yes.
It's usually on the Sunday even.
It is, because I spend, that's basically because that's pretty much what I do, is I sit there on a Sunday and I just convert the thing and then I cut it up and then I put it up there. Nice. And usually, it's about 4 or 5 o'clock a lot of times, but by then I've got it up and, well, that's good, and it works.
You've got it up. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
We're after 8 now.
Yeah, that's fine. Well,
we're
apparently
approaching prime time.
Apparently before 7 is before 8 is okay too. Did you, is now a good time? Did you want to delve into our epic adventure from the end of last week?
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's do this.
I'm going to settle back and listen to this.
Everybody grab some snacks if you didn't already grab snacks. But make sure it's something, don't wait for popcorn, because this is going to go pretty quick. So I don't know why you're throwing. Now they're going to be all broken. All right, so go set the stage for us, Mr. Barbetta.
We're leaving. And it's a gorgeous night out.
I'm with you on this one. I remember.
Yeah, you remember. You were there. So we're leaving, and then as we're approaching the parking lot that we're usually parked in, we saw this car. I forget the name of what the car was.
It was an older car.
Yeah, it was an older car. Like maybe, 1980s or something like that. And then we just see someone rifling around in there, and we just figured, all right, someone's just grabbing their books or whatever. No problem. Then the person that was rifling around in the car noticed that we were... We had seen them.
Approaching.
Yeah, we were approaching. So then they jumped in their own car and circled around and then rolled down their window and said, "Do you know whose car that is?"
It was
right, and it was an older woman, too. It was, what would you say she was, about 45, 50 or something?
Yeah, know whose car that is.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. That's actually that's spot on. Well done, sir.
That's more accurate. Yeah. That gave me goosebumps.
She's behind me, isn't she?
I don't know. She was probably like in her late 30s, maybe mid-40s.
Sounded like I hate to... Well, yeah, I'm going to do it. It sounded like an alcoholic-y type of voice.
Probably, yeah.
Get out.
So then we were...
smoking 2 packs a day and all that.
Exactly.
We were concerned for our safety and our health, so we just kept on walking to our cars.
Yeah, we were concerned for our safety and our health, so we decided just to get the hell out of there. Yeah. At least that's what my plan was. So then... Continue.
So then we get to our cars, and then me, being the Boy Scout that I am, felt odd about it, because the person was still sitting there in their car watching us walk away, and I didn't feel good about that. Like,
which you said 12 times out loud, by the way.
Yeah, and
I missed. Do you feel good about this? I don't. And I was like, I feel fine. Let's get the hell out of here. Do you feel okay about this?
I missed the opportunity where I had said it myself, where the question was like, "Do you know whose car that is?" And my response was, "No, but I know it's open."
Yeah. He says right to this person, "You know whose car this is?" No, but I can see it's open. I can tell that much. I'm like, oh Jesus,
we're gonna die.
Well, the driver's side door never got closed.
No,
it did not.
It remained open.
Correct.
We were rifling around in there. So then afterwards, Steve was just like, "Radio, I'm done." Hopped.
Yeah. Steve got the hell out, which was the smart plan.
Hopped in his paddy wagon and paddied off. Is that even the thing? Is that how you guys do it? Whatever. Motor dog.
Oh, you know what
a paddy wagon is actually a police cruiser.
Well, it's a police van.
Right.
I don't know what you guys call.
Throw people in the back of the paddy wagon.
Like some people call cars over here sleds.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, whatever.
They used to call police cars Black Mariahs in the '50s. I remember that.
Yeah, they did. But continue.
Well,
yeah,
anyway,
I'm sorry.
So then Rob and I get in my car, and then we're him and hawing, and I still looking.
No, we're not hemming and hawing anything. You are, and I'm like, sir, can we just go the frig home?
So then I'm like, no, hang on a second. And then I noticed that the person was still sitting there. I'm like, I don't feel good about this. So then I said,
the 14th and 15th time.
So then I said, screw it. I'm going to find campus police.
At which point I said, oh, my God.
Your night has been extended.
Right, and I'm just sitting in his passenger seat.
And I was apologizing to him. I'm like, sir, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to extend your night.
I mean, I was essentially under arrest at this point.
So we're cruising around the campus looking
Kidnapped.
for campus police. and I was flabbergasted because I feel like campus police should be around.
And normally
are all
on a
over
whole
the
bunch of nights, we usually see them cruising around everywhere.
Especially the first night back.
Right.
This whole parking lot was just, it was like a pig factory.
Yeah,
there was like tons of campus police around. It was ridiculous. So,
So did you find one?
No. So we're rooting around, and I was getting frustrated that we didn't see anybody.
So was I.
Police. And so we came back around to this building where we usually parked, and I figured maybe I wanted to see if they're still there. And I thought I saw...
This might be the funniest part of the story.
I thought I saw a cruiser down on the other side of the building. Like, ooh, there's a cop, let's go. And we went down the way, and as we're going down the way, we see a person walking up the parking lot. And I'm like, oh, all right. Well, so, we saw that it wasn't a cruiser. What do I do? Well, I guess I'll approach this person here that's walking away from the parking lot. So I pulled up.
Now, it's important to mention, by the way, that the person is on my side.
Yeah.
So we're driving back out of the parking lot. The person's walking towards the car on the passenger side. So I start to see my window go down, and I'm like, oh, Christ, is he actually going to talk to this individual?
I was hoping I can get the guy to come on my side, but that just wasn't happening.
Can we mention, by the way, I'm sorry not to interrupt again, can we mention that prior to this, we had seen two individuals already on the street,
yes.
And you were like, let's talk to them, but they were larger and African American, and I was like, let's not. I know, don't talk. And you were like, oh, okay. And now we're in this parking lot, and now here's a skinny white kid coming towards us, and the window starts going down, and I'm like, oh, this is going to happen. This is really happening.
So I had no choice. I had to lean over Rob.
You had a choice, yeah.
I leaned over Rob. I'm like, excuse me, sir.
That could have looked awkward.
Yeah.
It did very.
Immediately, so I'm like, excuse me, sir, pardon. And then immediately his answer, no.
So at which point, my only question in my head was, what have people propositioned this gentleman with in parking lots before that he is just very instantly saying no to us? So as Jared's practically in my lap trying to talk to him.
I was like, sir, no, it's not like that. I'm just.
We don't know what that even is, but it's not whatever you're thinking. It's not that.
It's not like that at all, sir. I had a question. Could we? I'm sorry. I thought you were asking if you can take my parking space because I was walking back to my car, and I was confused because but you were walking away from the car, so why would you
I thought he
back?
was just saying that he wasn't getting back in his car. I didn't think he was saying I was going to my car. I thought he was just saying I'm just not getting in my car at this point in time, so you can't have my space.
So anyway, then I explained it.
That's a weird jump to a conclusion there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, completely.
No. What are you saying no to him? Just
I automatically assume anybody who pulls up next to me in a car and rolls down their window,
directions.
Right? They're either going to catcall me or they're going to ask for directions.
Yeah.
And chances are they usually ask for directions.
Mm-hmm. So after that, I explained to him the gravity of this situation. There was a woman rifling through someone's car on the other end of this building, and he says, "Oh, that's fine."
And he even added into his story, and I don't feel okay with it. I'm like, "Oh my God, that's like the 19th time he said that."
I should have gotten a T-shirt that said that.
Yeah, you should.
And so he was like, "Well, I happen to be the RA here." So I will just
RA.
Yeah, well, I think I asked you in the car at that very moment.
I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what they do, but it has something. They have
a-hole.
Nope.
Yes.
They they have something to do with the buildings. They actually have some sort of. I mean, they don't run the buildings obviously because they're students, but they have a position of administration within a particular dorm.
So he gets out his phone. He was like, "Oh, all right," because I told him I didn't feel okay with it. Oh, I'll just call the campus.
And you didn't feel okay with it, did you?
No, I did. So he says, I'll call the campus police, seeing how you couldn't find any. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, no problem. And he just proceeded to be very slow with the phone.
And Jared's still sitting there, and I'm like, get the hell out of here.
I didn't know if he wanted us to also make a statement, so I'm just sitting there waiting, and he's probably on the other end going, please leave.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Please leave. I can only look at photographs of myself.
Right, he's dialing nothing. He's basically just waiting for these lunatics to drive out of the parking lot so he can move on with his life, which, by the way, was what I was waiting for as well.
So then he was like, and I'm like, all right. So I just picked up on the clue that he was awkwardly waiting for us to leave. So then I left. And then as we leave, we see him immediately put his phone back in his pocket. And then we just kept on going. And
we didn't keep on going at all. You drove back around to see if she was still in the goddamn parking lot.
That's true. That happened then. And then I was like,
and she was gone by that point, probably because she had stolen everything she wanted to steal.
Yeah.
Had plenty of time, and then just got out of there.
So. And then after that, when I see the guy put the phone back in his pocket, and I said, "Okay, I guess we'll just see." I'm just curious if she's still there, rifling through this guy's bag.
I think this was about the time, Steve, where I sent you the message on the group message that said, "We're still here, and please help." And meanwhile, he's like, "Hey, well, I'm back in Stoughton, you suckers."
I cruise slowly by the parking lot, and I see that she's no longer there. So she must have scooted.
Yes.
And then at that point, Rob was like, "You do realize he put his phone back in his pocket, right?" It's like, well, I feel bad that, but I feel...
You do realize nothing at all has come of this venture.
Yeah. I do feel like my soul has been cleansed because at least I put in some little bit of effort.
Your car's going to be cleansed by the time we get back to it tonight.
Probably.
She probably took down your damn license plate while you drove by 5 times.
Probably.
Giving her enough opportunity.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past her.
You know whose car this is?
You know whose car this is now?
Are you related to Mikey D? Are you like his sister?
Yeah.
It's probably his girlfriend from Johnny Macaroni's.
Tony SpaghettiOs or whatever.
Yes.
508-531-1303. We're going to get into some classic rock, so Jared can order our food, and we'll play some music, because I'm sure people are dying for that. They're like, we don't care what these guys' problem is. We just want to hear some music. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. Steve Miller Band, Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, all coming up in this block. You got SNS on BIM.
Call in your classic rock request now at 508-531-1303. If you don't, Rob Hicks will play a half an hour of Bruce Hornsby.
That's just the way it is.
This is your chance to save the town of Bridgewater. 91.5 WBIM.
Joe Cocker's on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack. Before that, heard from Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses, Steve Miller Band, all in that block. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
Hello.
We kicked it off with Live Joker, which was from the Steve Miller Band, and that was right. And that was from when he was playing. It was playing in New York in 1976. You okay?
I got that stupid thigh cramp again. Ugh.
Oh, you got some old people here doing your radio now.
Yes, you do.
Hey, you know it for sure. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. Steve, I got to ask you this.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the presidential debate this past week?
Oh, God, no. I was in bed way before then.
Oh, good.
But I wake up in the morning and I look at all the posts that my wife and her various friends posted, so right. I got the info from that. So.
That's all you need, and then
she watches it for me.
Yeah, and then you basically need someone to cut something together with all of the highlights or all the important stuff you missed,
like you,
right? And all the stuff from Donald Trump's side, which basically sounded like this. So this is just a supercut of all the times that he sniffed.
But that was because his mic wasn't working.
Oh yeah, oh sure, yeah, absolutely. Because we didn't hear anything else other than the sniffing. So basically it was, you could hear everything that he was saying, word for word, syllable for syllable. You didn't hear him breathe out at all, but then you just kept hearing this. This reminds me of back when I was doing the show here in the late 90s. It reminded me of when we used to have the cart machines. And if you used to erase the cart wrong, or the cart didn't quite erase all the way, or you just had blank space on the cart, it would just sound like this. And you'd just have that all the time, and it was just terrible. And, well, this was apparently he just couldn't stop sniffing. People obviously were making all their comments that they had to make online about, maybe he had a little bit of nose candy before he went out on the stage. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I just think he's an idiot.
He could have taken a bathroom. Oh, no, he can't take a bathroom break.
No, he can't. And I also found it amusing that after the fact, he, I think the very next day, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody asked him, they were like, are you okay? Do you have are there seasonal allergies or anything like that going on? Because we noticed that there was a lot of sniffling. And he went, no, I have no allergies. No. Yeah. They're like, well, okay, so were you okay, or did you have a cold or something? Oh, no, I didn't have, no, it was okay. I don't understand what's going on.
I think the rumors that he's on coke.
Right. Well, that's what I was just saying. Well, you didn't know because you were on the phone. That's what I was just mentioning, is that people were saying that. Yeah. And to me, I think it's just one step closer to just showing who he really is. You know, I think it just kind of accentuates the similarities to some folks that we could mention, and
just hasn't quite got there yet.
How the frig is he running for president?
Oh my God, I've given up even thinking about that.
Can somebody explain it to me, please? Because I do not understand it. I can't work it out. No. And the thing that I find hilarious is the fact that the whole, like Jared said about people saying that the rumor was that he was on coke and all this. One of the people that brought up the fact that he might be on coke tweeted it during the debate. It was Howard Dean. Remember him?
Yes.
I mean, Howard Dean, who basically, for no reason, gave this speech, and at the very end of it, basically made a sound that ended his entire candidacy.
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House! Yeah!
And then everybody started acting like he was insane because he made a noise. Does anybody hear what comes out of Donald Trump's mouth? Does anybody hear it?
I know why.
Am I living in a world by myself?
People hear it, but unfortunately, people just don't. I don't know. They don't take it the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, America's going to go down the shithole.
Oh, my
because we're basically we can't pull it back
You
now.
said it.
Yeah, I couldn't stop myself.
Yeah, so.
I know why he's running.
Well, I know why he's running, too.
Because somewhere along...
Because he's an egomaniac sociopath.
I think somewhere along the lines we discovered time travel, and someone went back in time because they didn't like a woman president or something like that, and they're like, we got to fix this, and went back in time, stepped on some carpenter caterpillar, ruined the whole time-space continuum thing, and next thing you know, now we've got this guy running. But, I don't talk about
I think everybody who votes in this country is just a majority of dopes, and I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're facing, and
I truly
it just needs to stop.
I'm upset that I'm not allowed to vote in this one.
And I can't.
I feel like you could, but no one's going to stop you.
Well, considering the amount of times I get that form that comes in the mail, as me down as an American citizen when I'm not.
Right.
And I always have to cross it out and say, no, sorry, I'm not. And then I also get called up for jury duty. Which I also can't do because
And then they're like, well, what the hell are you doing here then?
It's like, really, people get you...
Yeah, they're like, you must be a terrorist.
Right.
Yeah.
All those British terrorists, they're the next ones to start cropping up all over the place.
List.
I just don't get it.
No, I
don't. And then did you hear the latest revelation that apparently this just came out this week as well? That apparently Donald Trump was in a very short clip of a softcore porn that came out.
Yes,
in the year 2000.
Was it Playboy?
Yes, it was Playboy. So
yes.
Let's sort of try to go back a little bit. Think about all the things he said. Mm-hmm. Think about all the ridiculous comments that he's made, the racist, bigoted things that he's done, the fact that he hates women. He's shown up in porns and all that.
Well, and wasn't he trying to get one of his wives into the
something?
movie?
I don't know about any of that, but I mean, but 10 years ago, this was it just killed a guy's candidacy. Are you people nuts? Is everybody on drugs? Is everybody on drugs?
We need to join them, I think.
It is. I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on. It doesn't make any sense to me that this could have gone on for this long.
No.
Leading up to the nomination process, I was hoping that it was just going to be some sort of grand, elaborate prank. And somebody was going to come up with, that we really weren't going to nominate him. This was just a test to find out if you're all morons, and apparently you are.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other thing that came to light yesterday is that they found I think it was 19 or 23 deceased veterans had recently registered to vote in one of those swing states.
Oh, God.
So now, like, the FBI and everybody's looking in on that. Why is that happening? Yeah, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful world that we live in these days.
If anybody decides that they want to go out and see the porn that Donald Trump was in the very beginning, he's not in the porn, by the way. He's not like the star. It's like an Alfred Hitchcock deal. He just shows up at the beginning and then it's over. But if anybody wants to, the synopsis that I've read reads as follows. From luxuriating in warm, soapy tub to revealing at an exclusive nightclub, Carol and Darlene bear their sex appeal and lead you on a sensual journey of discovery.
There you go.
So there you go.
There you go.
Scene from the film.
With Donald watching from the wings.
Apparently, scenes from the film feature fully nude women posing in sexual positions, dancing naked, touching themselves while naked, touching each other sexually, and rubbing honey on themselves.
Honey.
Taking a bath and dressing in costumes. There's no detail on the costumes, by the way. I guess you're just going to have, no spoilers. You're going to have to watch it and just find that out for yourself. Yeah. Idiot. There's all sorts of ridiculous stuff going on.
Yes, there is.
I just can't take it. I can't take it. I can't take it. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. Steve, we got a record coming up that you brought in, another contribution from you. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, it was a very short-lived band called Straps. I believe Roger Glover produced the album.
I'll ask you the question that I always ask you. Is there any reason that they didn't happen to catch on here in America, or is it just how things work?
I've not a clue.
Because Americans are all stupid.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. No. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. You got Saturday Night Soundtrack. It's classic rock till 11 o'clock. Boston. It's on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack, wrapping up a block of classic rock. Had a couple of requests in that block, as a matter of fact. We heard Highway Song from Blackfoot. That one went out to Steve the Sleeve. And that one right there, Boston, More Than a Feeling. That was from Tom to Lisa, because he wants you to know that when you guys did the deed, I'm assuming.
You got to reverse.
Do we know what the deed is?
No, I did not. Hold on.
It's from Lisa to Tom.
That's not what you told me.
That is what I told you. It's written down.
Steve, is that what he told me? First of all, you didn't write it down at all. You said Lisa Tom.
Yeah. Lisa,
and then I asked you.
Lisa to Tom.
You said from Lisa to Tom.
Yeah, that's what I said. From Lisa to Tom.
I don't believe
So now they're not going to listen anymore.
Anyway, whoever was dedicating it to whom, they just want you to know that it was more than a feeling. They also wanted us to know that they're going to give us a Facebook like. Oh, wait, no, that hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't happened.
And it probably never will.
Never.
Because I don't understand what the problem is.
They don't care about us.
Apparently not.
They hate us.
508-531-1303. If you want us to harp on you too, well, we can. It's perfectly fine. As it was, I had to run into Jared and be like, "What the hell is written on this piece of paper?" Because I can't even understand this. And apparently, it said Boston More Than Lisa Tom with no direction whatsoever.
The
usual.
Yeah. Able to read my shorthand.
No, just write it like a normal human being,
I'm
please.
going to call it my Trump hand because he's got shorthand.
Yes, he does.
No, I'm not going to call that.
What a moron!
I don't want to say his name. I don't talk politics.
Just like Lisa and Tom will be eventually. Steve, you and I are married.
Not to each other.
Oh, that gag is not old.
No, not to each other. We hasten to point out, not that there's anything wrong with that. Does your wife have an issue with understanding how sound travels?
You know what? I don't. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
So specifically what I'm getting after here is you, and I get in trouble for this a lot, but it's not my fault. So she'll say something to me.
And you don't hear her?
Right, but so I'm upstairs in our bedroom, or I'm upstairs in my office, or wherever I am, and she's downstairs in the bathroom, in the laundry room, talking in the direction of the wall.
Yes.
And yet, for some reason, I get grief for not hearing what she said.
Absolutely.
And then I say, what? And she's like, oh, you never listen. Like, what the are you talking about? I never listen. Of course I listen. But what's it? I mean, if you speak in a certain direction, sound is going to travel in that direction.
Oh, I can be across the other side of the room, and she's over the other side of the room at the sink with the water running, facing the wall away from us.
All sorts of ambient noise
going on. We have a TV between us
and then
that I'm watching.
Sure.
And then it's...
Yeah. Right. And then
and I said, what? She goes, why aren't you listening to me?
Yes. I've gotten the same exact thing.
I am listening. I just cannot hear you.
Right, and then I'm trying to listen. She's like, you don't listen, that's the problem. I'm like, no, you talk to the damn wall, and if you're not talking to the wall, then you're mumbling. And then if I accuse her of mumbling, that's a whole other area I don't want to go down.
Do you think they do it deliberately?
Yes?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, how else would that... It's just another matter of controlling us,
exactly.
and it works.
Exactly.
On the flip side of this, I'm deaf in one ear, as
Me too.
You folks know.
Me too.
I mean, I'm not, but
really?
The opposite ear, remember? We always have to walk.
That's right.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm at a movie theater, because that's what we old people do. And a girl...
What's a movie theater?
A girl I was with at the time, she leans over and she says something into my ear.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets up and walks away, and I'm like, I'm in a movie.
What the F did she just say?
What did you just say? It's my bad ear she said it in. So I thought maybe she was just so enamored by the film or enamored by her hunger that she completely forgot. And I figured because she got up and walked away, she was like, I'm going to go get some popcorn.
No, I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah, or something like that. I'm like, all right, I'm just sitting there watching. The film ends, the credits roll, and I'm like, wait, where'd she go? So I gave her a call when I got home. Like, what happened to you? And I'll give you money in a minute.
You can give him money now. It's fine. Please don't make the gentleman wait.
I called her and I was like, "What happened to you?" And she's like, "Didn't you know I broke up with you? I told you in your ear, and then I left. I'm leaving me all alone at the movie theater. I had to walk home. I gotta go pay for this thing."
All right.
Yeah, you go pay for this.
But so it happens to me more often than I care to admit. But I always protest the fact. I'm like, well, it's not my fault. No. You're either mumbling or you're talking in the opposite direction. She'll walk down. We'll be taking a walk, right? Or we'll be walking by the house, or maybe we both just got home. One of us is walking towards the mailbox or something. There's a damn highway going next to my house. If you know where I live,
yes.
Right? There's a highway right there. She'll be walking in the direction of the street, away from the house, and say something like back to me.
Uh-huh.
I can't freaking hear that. You're facing the highway. How am I supposed to talk in my direction? And you'll notice a noted improvement in how much I pay attention to you.
Because
I'll actually be able to hear it.
My wife also does this when she's talking.
Oh, really?
And can you hear what difference that makes?
Right. Nobody can see, but Steve's holding his phone in front of his face.
I'm like, move your freaking phone so I can hear what you're talking about.
I don't understand it. I think it's probably the same...
Sonny.
I think it's probably the same chromosome or gene or whatever that makes them unable to decide what they want for dinner, except for knowing that it's not anything that you suggest.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
You want some pizza?
I'm asking you.
Great. You want some pizza? No, I'm not in the mood for that. All right. Oh, do you want some Italian food? No, or Chinese food? Well, no, I'm not in the mood for that either. Well, what do you want? I don't know. Whatever you want. Ah, damn it. No, it's obviously not working. I do have a question for Jared, and I almost hesitate to bring this up. Your story that you just told me about the movie theater seems oddly like a flip side of a story that you told me once before.
Oh, no.
Where you were on the other side of the equation.
I guess karma comes around.
So was this after that?
Yeah, that was after that.
Okay.
So then I just figured, you know what? One's done to me, well, I'll do one to you. So another time, just for the audience to know, another time, I was at a movie theater with a girl going into the theater.
Let me preface this, by the way, Steve, by telling you that I mentioned the story to my wife once, and she said Jared's literally the worst person I've ever known.
I mean, I'm not happy about my past.
Nor should you be.
So going into the movie theater, she kept on fiddling around with my radio, right, going in, and that just pisses me off. Don't.
Oh, he doesn't like that, does he?
Don't play.
You know that.
Well, no, I never played with his button. I never played with his knob. I never played with his radio. I just adjusted his seat, and he just got real sad on me, and because he had neglected to explain to me why I shouldn't adjust his seat. That's another tale for another time that we've already told.
So I, she was screwing with my radio. I'm like, all right, clearly there's a problem here. So we get to the theater, and I pulled the same bit. I'm like, hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some popcorn. And I never came back. The bit of it, though, is that she was from a town further away from the theater. We went to the Randolph Theater, and she was from a town way, way away from Randolph.
Do we want to say what town she was in?
No, I want to keep away from the town that she...
Did he just...
I want to stay away from the town, but We'll say this: if it's about a 45-minute drive from the Randolph Theater,
right? And she had no vehicle because you took the damn vehicle home.
So I don't know how she got home. Even to this day, I have no idea.
Jared's like, every once in a while, I still think about her, and I still wonder if she's okay and if she got home. I'm like, oh my god.
Sometimes I'll just drive around that movie theater.
Probably the worst person
hanging around.
Yeah, she's all feral and living in the woods behind the Randolph Theater. She's been living off squirrels and chipmunks this whole time.
Half naked, duct taped, and thrown in a ravine.
Yeah, but you don't give a crap because your radio sounds good now. So who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
That's just a tip. Don't touch my radio when you're in my car, because you're liable to be left wherever we're going.
Well, it's good to know. I'm going to keep this in mind for myself.
Fair warning.
As we head home. I think I actually did touch your radio on the way in here to check out 91.5.
No, I turned it
on. I'm wondering how I'm okay. Oh, you turned it on? Okay, yeah. I lost track.
All right, I got to eat.
All right, cool. I got to eat, too.
Classic Rock.
508-531-1303. Give us a call. Let us know what you want to hear. Molly Hatchet and STP all coming up. Next Classic Rock block, SNS on BIM.
Hitting the bars or hitting the books. We'll make your night rock with Rob Hicks and Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack on 91.5 WBIM.
That's Tom Petty at 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS Radio Show. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. That one was for Lisa and Tom. It wasn't going out from one to the other.
Steve, wake up!
Or back and forth because that would have been pretty crappy if one of them had dedicated it to the other. Are you even paying attention to the fact that I'm explaining to you that was a song for one of our faithful listeners?
I'm sorry, I was sleeping.
Nobody's paying it. Oh my God!
I'm sorry. I'm awake now.
The good thing that came out of this whole deal is that we finally got the Facebook like. The thing that was going on was apparently they were liking the station but not liking us. And this is probably something I should mention as well. This is going to sound weird. We're not affiliated with the station as far as Facebook is concerned.
No.
So if you like the station on Facebook, cool. But we're
no
also
brownie points for you.
No brownie points for you. We're also on Facebook under Saturday Night Soundtrack. So if you just search for Saturday Night Soundtrack and then like us, it helps us out a lot.
Yes, it does.
If you like the station, right, we will not give you brownie points, but what we will give you is like those crappy Hostess brownies.
Oh, the ones that... Remember the time we were at Cumberland Farms and we were standing in line and the woman in front of us took one of the Hostess brownies, and then you very loudly, because you're Jared and you can't say anything quietly, you were like, you know those brownies disappointed me? Those right there.
Yeah,
they just weren't good.
They were terrible.
They were just like dry and just like, I didn't want... And she just gently put it back.
I'm helping her out.
I mean, you just guilted her into putting the thing back. Yeah. Well, sort of like I just guilted Lisa into the Facebook. Like I felt kind of bad, as a matter of fact, when I was on the phone and having the conversation because she was explaining the fact that she liked the station, and then I realized it was just a miscommunication, and she didn't realize we had our own separate Facebook Saturday Night Soundtrack. And then she was like, "Well, can I get to Saturday Night Soundtrack from the WBIM Facebook?" And I was like, no. We're basically not really affiliated with the station whatsoever. Yeah. They'd rather pretend like we didn't even exist.
That's why they don't advertise us.
You know what I mean? They'd rather pretend this just doesn't happen. Like, this is just a very bad Tick experience. For some reason, the Tick has these jabronis on here talking every Saturday night, and it's just timed out that way. And, we just need to figure out how to make it stop. Mm-hmm. So yes, we're not affiliated with the station whatsoever from a Facebook perspective. So you can go out and search for us and like us separately. Well, that's fantastic.
Affiliated with each other, though.
What?
I said we're affiliated with.
Well, yes, we are affiliated with each other, which makes it handy to do the program. We've gotten to the point where I think that if Jared ever does have a legitimate Masonic week where he cannot be here, I think it's going to be like the boy who cried wolf. We're just not going to believe that he's not coming in. I'm going to be waiting. I'm going to be waiting at my house for him to pick me up, and he's going to be like, "Sorry, I told you I have lodge." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's cute."
He only told you that he wasn't coming this week. He told me that he was,
and he actually only told me it on the air. So no high fives, sir, because do you understand the scrambling that is necessary?
Yes.
I don't know if you realize this, because a lot of other programs here on the station are not like this. They're just thrown together on a laptop. But as far as this show is concerned. This show requires a lot of preparation.
Oh, no, I realize.
And there are bits and segments that specifically are either tailored towards you or held back because you're not going to be here.
Yeah.
And and if I'm trying to set up the program, it kind of helps to know before Saturday afternoon if you're actually going to be on the thing.
All right, so I reiterate.
Yeah. Well, thanks for contributing to potentially making the show suck. I appreciate that.
You did tell me
keep up the good work.
The 15th.
If you'll notice, I still managed to pull my poop. I pulled my poop together. So.
I'm not here on the 15th.
Well, we're not here on the 15th either because that's the alumni takeover reunion.
I'm not even worried about it.
Yeah, that works out well.
Yeah, that's good.
Not even
The thing of it is, right? We put on such a phenomenal show, even if I'm not here.
Yeah, what's the deal? Yeah, continue.
So
and
if
then,
I'm not here,
right.
the show is still going to be pisser.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is. That's correct.
So,
how come? Why have you resorted back to why are you so far back from the mic these past couple of weeks? I've noticed this. Steve has to keep putting it up.
How's this? Is this better?
Yeah,
yeah. It is
Can
better.
you hear me better?
Right.
I can hear you.
Oh,
Better.
good.
Steve has to
How you
keep
doing?
putting it in front of your face. The mic.
The mic. I reiterate.
I just want to say,
Yeah.
being this close to the mic, it smells like the back of a kneecap.
You don't have to be that close to it. Just don't be back here.
How do you know what the back of a kneecap smells like, sir?
Sir, I've been around the corner
Okay.
and down the street. Okay.
Down the street and up the alley.
And we got some more music coming up. And,
Yeah. So I mean, even though I'm not here, the show's still awesome because we're that good. The show is put together. It's not on a laptop. It's not like I'm just going to sit behind the control board and press play, shuffle all on my Apple laptop, and just expect magic to come out and then go, I don't really know what that was. But I mean, we have production value, we have mood lighting, we have...
Yeah, what's with the mood lighting all of a sudden?
I don't know. We have mood lighting, we have buzzers.
I think he's got something planned.
We have, segments and bits. We have bits, man.
we do have.
You know what I mean?
All three of us have
lots
bits.
of bits.
No, I mean,
We got bits everywhere.
Yes.
We have skits.
They're
we
old
have it all.
bits, too.
Well, what do you have? Nothing.
As a matter of fact, we actually got. I think we got at least one more bit coming up for tonight.
Good.
And,
good.
So there you go.
That's what we excel at.
Absolutely.
Making you laugh. You're sitting there on your couch.
Right.
They would be on the couch now. It's too cold to sit outside now. Nice.
I gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go. You know what? I think we're gonna go too. Get on with some more classic rock. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. You got SNS on BIM.
If your bed is in a small town and that's good enough for you, you're one of the only listeners who can hear us on an actual radio.
Scrolling through the radio and found you guys, man. Awesome.
Congratulations. Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
It's Def Leppard, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
Def Leppard, come on, man.
Yeah, really.
Here we go.
I tend to agree.
Oh, Jared has a complaint, and Steve's voicing the complaint for a change. That's fine. Steve's already had to suffer through Tom Petty and Def Leppard.
Hang on a second. Let me just do a drum roll. That's all I can do because I only have one arm.
Such a bastard. Such a bastard.
I only have one arm, sorry.
So just a little bit after 10 o'clock here, you can still give us a call, 508-531-1303, if there's anything else that you want to hear. We got one last classic rock block of the evening that's going to be coming up. So your request can be part of that, and you can get in on the fun.
Yes.
Lisa gave us a call shortly after we got off the air in the last segment and said, hey, you guys messed up my name on the air.
Yep.
And because of that, I want you to dedicate a song to me and make sure it's the most beautiful song in the entire world.
Which one was it, by the way?
Well, I don't know yet, because here's the thing, is I don't think we owe her a song because I didn't screw up her name.
Did I?
I don't know. Let's go to
he
the...
probably did.
Can we just put her on?
no, we can't because we don't have that capability anymore. But let's go...
Fine.
Tell you what, let's go to the... well, they can wait for a minute because let's go to the tape here. This is Tom Petty at 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS Radio Show, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. That one was for Lisa and Tom. It wasn't going out from one to the other,
Steve, wake up.
or back and forth, because that would have been pretty crappy if one of them had dedicated it to the other. Are you even paying attention to the fact? So I think probably it seems to me that the problem was you guys were just being a-holes.
Yes, we were.
And talking over the whole fact, and
Exactly.
it turns out that nobody's name got messed up there. You can answer the phone now, sir.
Fine, I'll get up.
Because I believe that while Jared was on the phone, not only did he say, well, maybe we messed up your name, and then he said, well, if we did, it was Rob's fault.
Yes.
Well, it most definitely was not, because we have just referred back to the tape.
No,
and that was not the case.
It was Jared's fault.
It was Jared's.
It usually is.
It was your fault. You were making the snoring noises, sir. It was the two of you.
I was trying to wake up after listening to
It was the two of
Tom
you
Petty.
over the whole entire thing.
I don't know what to do. Not my fault. I fall asleep when I hear Tom Petty, most blowing musician in the world.
You know, I don't know what to tell you.
He's got his Def Leppard. I've got my Tom Petty.
Yeah, you do. And you know what? We're just going to continue playing both of them on this program, and that's how it's going to be.
You've got to have one. There's got to be one out there.
You know, not that you guys make me play on a regular basis. I mean, I'm sure there's are acts that I despise, but I mean, well, we just don't play them if that's the case.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really tend to come up as an issue.
Yeah.
Was that? How are we doing?
Now I can hear you. What's up?
Oh, good. I was just asking how are we doing?
That was our old buddy,
Oh, which one?
Mikey D.
Mikey D.
I had nothing to do with that. Okay.
No, it had nothing to do with the bit that we're just doing.
Yeah.
He says that he's doing good.
We missed him.
Yeah, the correctional officer only allowed him to.
This might be a good time to mention that my wife and I had another issue with anal sex over the past week.
Yes.
I said anal sex, by the way, and if anybody doesn't understand that, we'll get your minds out of the gutter. If anybody doesn't know what this is all about, let me just give you a brief flashback. We have one dog that has had anal sac problems in the past. If you don't know what anal sac problems is, well, you're not alone. It's apparently not a well-known phenomenon, and luckily, because we here at SNS are dedicated to educating you.
Yes.
We went over it a little bit in a show probably well over a year and a half ago now. And here's what we did. It's one of the best bits of SNS ever. And here's what we discovered.
Normally, when a dog poops, the fluid in his anal sacs is squeezed out too. Oh, really? How to express a dog's anal gland with pictures. Oh, right.
Lift the dog's tail, roll it up to expose anus.
Try not to frighten your dog. Excuse me, I don't mean to frighten you.
Wash the dog's bottom for expressed liquid. Milking. If you're milking correctly, the liquid should be coming out slowly. The liquid smells strongly of fish and maybe anything from clear, smooth consistency to a brownish, grainy substance. If the discharge is bloody or especially pasty, do not continue. Yeah. Continue to milk until the glands have emptied. You will know that they are empty when the sacs are barely palpable and there is no liquid radio at its
right at the end of it, step 10. Give the dog a treat.
I mean, all we were trying to do was help you people. If you didn't understand how anal sex works, well, now we helped you out with that, and you can thank us later. So anyway, my dog had another issue with it. I came home and I went to let them upstairs, and all of a sudden I realized that she's leaving little bloody trails where she's going, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm looking, and I'm trying to look back there, and I can't see what's going on, but I can clearly tell that's where it's coming from. So I had to. It's 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and I got to take her up to Weymouth to the VCA because that's the only emergency vet hospital that's open at that time. Apparently, they have all 7-year-olds working there because this girl comes out and she's like, "I'm going to take a look at her anal glands." I'm like, "This again? We got to deal with this again." At least you're a doctor here, I suppose.
My dad
turned out
me running.
turned out not to be that big a deal, but my wife was like, "Why did you?" Because my wife was out at a work thing, and then she came back and she was she met me there. But then she was like, "Why did you go through all that? And why did you take her up there? Why didn't you just?" She said, "Why don't you just wait for me to come home, and then we could have put some hydrogen peroxide on it or something." Well, I said, I don't know. I thought, maybe it would be nice to sort of expedite this process, especially where I don't know what the hell is wrong with her.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of wanted to just make sure that everything was fine. And, I did, because I couldn't even tell where it was going. I was like, is she pooping blood? Because I don't know what to do about that if that turns out to be the case.
Yes.
So apparently I'm a helicopter parent with my dog, but it turned out to just be anal sex yet again.
Anal sex.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, man.
I'm glad I have cats.
I guess I will not now have my raspberry chocolate ice cream.
No, definitely have it. Definitely have it in honor of Cuppy Pants, you know?
Cuppy Pants?
Do it up.
I lost my mind.
So what are the names of your animals? Because you've got several.
I don't have time to rattle them off here on the air, sir. We've got this is going to be like a Goodwill Hunting deal, like Jimmy, Bobby, Barney. Let's see, we've got Vito, we've got Harry.
Vito.
Yes.
Classic.
We've got.
Was that after you met him?
Yes.
What? No, actually, it was before I met him.
Oh,
and it was
okay.
funny because I named him Vito after Vito Corleone from The Godfather. And then we moved to Kingston a couple of years after I got Vito. And then we were in a checkout line, and my wife was like, holy crap, that guy's name's Vito. And, because if I had just named my cat Vito after meeting Vito, that just would have been weird.
Yeah.
And then every time people came over, I would have had to be like, look at this guy. Look at him. Just look at this guy over here. Holy, like in the child's area, like just swearing up a storm with kids.
Yeah, right. Roaming around.
Oh, Jesus.
We got to find that guy.
Yeah, we do.
You find that guy on MySpace. And then
nobody has a MySpace anymore.
You
sir.
like
It's the
him, and then
21st
he'll
century.
know what to do.
The last time I bought anything at that particular Target, it was here at the checkout.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great.
It's awesome when he sees you across the aisle. Hey, Jared! And you're like, oh, okay, Bill. Bring it in for a fist bump.
Remember the time he accidentally walked into a pole?
Yes, I was
like,
just thinking of that.
And we had if anybody doesn't understand that
inside jokes.
Right, at retail stores you have that whole basically, like how they track on a construction site or something so many days since an accident. They get the same type of thing at retail stores, but they section it out like so many days since like a team member incident, so many days since a guest incident. And I forget if our number was up at something astronomical. I think it was.
Oh, it was
We were
pretty high.
close to a year, or we were beyond a year, and then all of a sudden Vito walked into a pole, and it went back down to zero.
Susan Chapman Hayes did the same thing as well. She had part of an aisle fell down on her head.
Yeah, but she's Susan.
Yeah.
Those things tend to happen to her.
But it's always the good people that happens to.
The good thing is with Susan, if she gets critically injured, she's going to stop at home and get a book first before she goes to the hospital.
Yes.
Just so she has something to do while she's waiting, because she's very practical and she thinks ahead.
Yes,
inside jokes.
All day. All day, it's fine. Yeah, so give us a call, 508-531-1303. Let us know what we can do for you. So based on that tape, well, I don't think we got to dedicate nothing. No. But Lisa, thank you for listening to us, and I forgive you for accusing me of screwing up your name.
She did call. She wants us to play a song to end the show.
Well, we usually do.
Yeah, she wants this particular song to end the show.
What song does she want?
Slow and Easy.
We just played that last week.
Well, she wants it again to end the show.
Isn't that the one that starts off like get on your knees and get in front of my junk and like ease it down slowly and slip yourself inside me or something ridiculous like that?
Absolutely, that's the tune.
But then they don't actually say any gratuitous words, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
Jesus, I guess we'll end the show with that.
I think she just wants to go out with a bang.
Nothing more to say on that.
No, we got nothing. I'm double micing it.
Last block of classic rock.
I'm in surround sound.
Coming up.
Here we go.
Some live Fleetwood Mac.
Live.
SNS on BIM.
The best reason to listen to WBIM on Saturday nights instead of your iPod. Size matters. The largest library of classic rock in Bridgewater is on this Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, and Steve Rimmer. 91.5 WBIM.
That's 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack, about ready to pack it in for another week. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. Another great show in the bag, as opposed to half in the bag, like most of you probably are. So,
yes.
Jared's not going to be with us on the 15th, but that's fine because we're not going to be here on the 15th because that's the Alumni Takeover Reunion show. So we've got next week, and then SNS has a week off. So, and be back after that with all sorts of crazy, glorious craziness, and this is regular stuff that we always do.
And we're getting close to the election by the day. Was it 39 days away or something?
That's something ridiculously, scarily
I want to get it over with.
Oh, me too.
I'm dying to know what happens, and yet I'm afraid to know what happens.
Yes.
It's like if somebody was like, here, you can see how your life is going to end. You'd be like, cool, and you'd be excited to see it, and then at the same time, you'd be scared poopless to actually find out. This is sort of along the same lines.
You know, I have done this before, mainly for British elections, but I'm as geeky as I am about things like this. I think I might even put in for the day off after it, so
really?
I stay awake all night and watch the returns coming in. I've done that before.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about that myself.
Yes.
No.
You know?
No.
It's kind of interesting.
I don't know. This is the first election in a while. All politics is crooked, and all politicians are criminals. I don't have a doubt about this. What I have it's when people talk about the lesser of two evils. Well, that's exactly what we're facing here.
Yep.
Is a lesser of two equals. Who is more possible to drive this country into the ground, to ruin this country's reputation?
I have no doubt about that one.
Worldwide. You know what I mean? There's no contest as far as that's concerned. My question was sort of rhetorical, but you are correct. Yeah. And I just don't understand how we've gotten to this point, and everybody can screw themselves.
Someone stepped on an insect when they time traveled.
Yes, I know that's your theory. That's a
the
fantastic
butterfly
theory.
Effect. It's legit.
No, I know.
Especially with the prospect that we might have found life already. Did you guys hear that?
I saw something about it, but I didn't really read too much
Which
about
one?
Well, NASA had
the Mars thing?
Yeah. No, not on Mars. It was on the moon.
The moon
that's circling Jupiter.
Oh, with the 155-foot plume of water coming out. Yes, I saw that.
It all got washed out because of the debate.
Mm-hmm.
I was more enamored by what's going on that moon than I was enamored by what's going on in the debate, because both of them sound like children. I don't talk.
Well, I'll tell you what. Trump probably knows what's going on the moon. He knows about the moon. He's the best known about the moon.
Yes.
He knows the most about the moon about anybody.
Talk about the balloon.
It's incredible. It's incredible how much I know about the moon. And I'm going to tell you something about the moon. When I become president, believe me, I'm going to be able to tell you lots about the moon. Don't worry about it. Yeah. I'm the best about the moon. So what can you tell us about the moon? I can tell you all sorts of things. I'm serious. I can tell you everything about it. Don't worry about it. I'm great with the moon. You haven't said a word. You haven't said anything substantial in the entire. Does anybody not to harp on this again, but does anybody in this country know what his friggin' plan is for anything?
Nothing.
Has he put anything into any concrete terms?
Yeah. None whatsoever.
There's going to be a wall.
I'm going to build a wall. Great.
We're going to get it out of.
They're going to pay for it.
Your wall is going to cost $10 million, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
we're going to tear up our dues card for the NATO.
It's going to cost twice as much to maintain this stupid thing.
I don't talk politics.
And it just, my.
All right. So next week.
Blood pressure all over the place.
Now, you didn't have any conversations about the times, etc., of the regular shows with the gentleman that goes before us?
We did not. I did mention to him that we were talking about the fact that John Coombs, pilot of the airwaves, is probably not going to be coming in for a bit. And he was mentioning that he didn't even think it was going to be coming in for the rest of the semester, which I would say that I tend to agree with.
He can't.
The chances are
do
probably
things by himself.
Correct.
Yes,
chances are probably pretty good about that. I think it's very optimistic to think he's going to be able to come in at some point in the semester, but it won't be within the next few weeks.
No.
And I don't think it'll be within the next month from what I've seen. So what I had talked to him about, just briefly, and again, nothing was guaranteed, nothing was worked out or etched in stone. But we just had come up with the idea that maybe we would figure out some sort of a split. Mm-hmm. I don't know how this is going to be communicated because I'm not even friends on Facebook with them.
No.
So I don't necessarily know if that's going to work itself out. But we'll see, and we'll try to figure something out along the way.
Right.
If we can get in here earlier, that would be great.
If he could do 3 to 6, that would be wonderful.
If he wanted to do 3 to 6, that would be great by me. I mean, obviously, if he just wanted to do 2 hours and do 3 to 5, we'd have 5 to 11. But if he wants to do 3 to 6, and we come in and do 6 to 11, that's perfect.
Yep.
5 hours is great for this show.
Yes.
You folks in Bridgewater, maybe not too great for you, but that's what you get.
Yeah.
It's not the tick. That's all I can tell you.
Not the tick.
I have one request for you, sir. Apparently, I've gotten a text that we have to go to Cumberland Farms on the way home.
Got it.
Please let's not go to the same one we went to on the way up here. I'd rather not look that weird. We can stop by the one near my house.
People in there.
We can stop by the one at my house. That's fine.
Nice young men are just coming back from their date.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever wondered what the secret to being a great dad is?
No, I don't care.
Do they still...
Well,
that's how I brought my
I mean, if you haven't done it by now, Steve, you're screwed.
Exactly.
Here's a clue. Dad is a verb like catch, hug, and listen.
When I was doing the show here back in the late 90s, there was a PSA that was narrated by Alec Baldwin that was basically along that same lines, where he said, what does it mean to be a dad? In his Alec Baldwin voice, the way he does. And it was great. We're going to close it out with this Whitesnake song that we played 2 weeks ago. We're going to play it again because Lisa wants to hear it. And notice I said Lisa,
yes,
like I did the last time, which I proved. I heard. Thank you. Here's Slow and Easy for you. That's some good advice as we go home on a Saturday night. Take it slow and easy. 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS Radio Show. We'll see you next week. Bye.